gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Zita Nation. To my friends and family, fans and followers, thank you for joining us here for episode 43 of The Revolution. I am your forever host, Emperor Zita, coming to you, as always, here in the Fortress of Solitude in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. So this week, we have a very special comic book day for you. Unfortunately, Fred could not be with us this week, so we have a very special guest, Mr. Scoops, my friend Paul, and myself will be taking over the comic book duties this week. So I am back to work. It was a phenomenal time sitting at home on parental leave, but it is very good to be back at work. It's great to see all the guys at Kelsey's. Even though one of my good friends, Chris Jones, is no longer there, it was great to get back to work this week, especially getting to hang out with my buddy Mark LeGrove. Other than that, kind of a quiet week, getting myself settled back into a new work routine. Plus, we also have the Elimination Chamber predictions, which is the last pay-per-view before, yep, you guessed it, WrestleMania, the greatest day of the year. Anyways, that is enough from me. Let's get on with the show. Rock and roll, baby! And here we go.
Hello. It's been a month now that we've had the little one home. I don't know what time has gone. Days, weeks are blending, but day by day it's getting a little bit easier. It's starting to get familiar now with, he's got gas cries, hungry cries, and he loves to cuddle, which I love it. It's so easy to fall asleep with him cuddling up with me. It's so tough because Catherine's still acting up a little bit. Hopefully that'll, fall back into place because she goes to school this year. Oh, so yeah, Wednesday we took Mr. Anthony for having circumcision done. Went very well. He's feeling nice. It was the first 24 hours basically that were kind of rough. It was a very, very early morning, a very long day. He's getting a little better at sleeping. He's more and more awake during the day, which is great. And he's starting to sleep better at night. Except now he's going through a growth spurt, so he constantly wants to eat even more. Which is a little bit frustrating, but you gotta do what you gotta do. With those devilish eyes. That's when she put my hand in between her thighs.
Hey. Oh. You want your chucheto?
So this week it is the Elimination Chamber. First of all, let's start with the Divas match. Tamina versus Caitlyn. Nobody really cares about this match. They haven't gotten any screen time on Raw since Caitlyn won a Divas title. So I'm thinking that she's going to retain. I know I'll be using that time to take a piss. Then we have The Miz versus Antonio Cesaro. I like the way they're organically turning The Miz face. And the big endorsement from Ric Flair works a lot. But I still think Cesaro is going to walk out the US champion. Then on the pre-show, we're going to have the Hip Hop Hippo and the Funkasaurus versus Team Rhodes Scholars. I think the Rhodes Scholars are going to take this match, but I'm really hoping that Team Funkit wins it. We have the big Elimination Chamber match, the only one announced so far, with Mark Henry, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, Jack Swagger, and Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Yes!
Now, first of all, this is going to help build the breakup between Team Hell No. Randy Orton's going to get pushed to the side because the rumor is he's going down to TNA in June. And I think Mark Henry is walking out the Elimination Chamber winner. We also had the World Heavyweight Championship match between Alberto Del Rio and the Big Show. I don't think the Big Slow is going to win this match. I think it's just a way to help build back ADR up, and I think ADR is going to walk out of this match champion, but I don't think he's walking into WrestleMania as the champion. We also have the 6-man tag match between The Shield and Sheamus, Ryback, and John Cena. But I got a feeling that Cena's team is going to take it with Cena getting the pin. It's just another way to help build Cena back up after his lackluster year so that he's an actual viable contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Speaking of the WWE Championship, we have the rematch between CM Punk and The Rock. Now, the last time, they tore the house down. I don't think this will be any different. Even though the stipulation states that if The Rock gets counted out or disqualified, he loses the title back to CM Punk. Am I the only one that is sick of The Rock just doing promos? I want to see him wrestle on Raw. I want to see the champion actually show why he is the champion. Even though The Rock is the best promo man in the business, he's really starting to lose his credibility by not wrestling. So in my Zack Ryder update this week, he got on Raw, on SmackDown, and even on the Saturday morning Slam tapings. He jobbed all 3 times. Twice to Swagger and once to Sandow. I don't know why WWE refuses to push Zack Ryder. He's got 1 million Twitter followers. He's got a host. He's topping the charts on iTunes. But WWE will not push him. I just hope and pray that he actually gets booked for WrestleMania, because he's not booked for Elimination Chamber this weekend, which is one reason I will not be buying that pay-per-view. Ryder or Riot.
There's nothing in my mouth. I don't know, Papa. I am Emma. I like to move it. 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 When I grow up, I will be food. It's too hard for me. I don't like the sun. The cookie! Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I wonder where you are. Up above, the woods so high. I've never done it in the back. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I wonder where you are. Somewhere in the world is cooking.
Hello, people! That's right, it is Comic Book Day, and we are here today at Sherway because we had to go this morning for blood tests for the little monkey here, and Anthony had to go get his pee-pee chopped. So we're headed down to Excalibur Comics. That's right, we're going down to Excalibur. We're going to go see the Prophet and the Expert. So we are headed down there. We actually have the Empress and Prince Anthony coming with us today for the last comic book day before I have to go back to work. We will See you soon, people. You're carrying the stroller up the steps of doom, right, honey?
No.
Alright, so we are down back here at Excalibur, and as you can see, we have the stroller today. So you know what that means. That means it's time for the steps of doom once again. So we're going to get Catherine and Magda and the baby upstairs, and I'm going to take the stroller up.
This is Excalibur Comics, 3030 Bloor Street West, upstairs above the Kingsway Theater.
Steps of doom. Once again, Rob really needs an escalator or an elevator. Hey, no Fred today, huh? So Fred's not here this week, so myself and Paul will be doing the comic book update this week. First of all, we have the Secret Avengers issue 1. The art is fantastic. You can't wait to see what the storyline's about. It's going to be a lot different than the last new Secret Avengers book. Now, we also have the Uncanny X-Men issue 1, written by Bendis and drawn by Chris Bachalo. Now, as Fred says, one of the best artists in comic books today. Period. So you have to check it out because it's very interesting. It's sort of the opposite side of what Wolverine and the X-Men is about. And then we have the big comic that come out this week, Walking Dead issue 107. Now if you guys are not reading Walking Dead, then you should not be reading comic books at all, and you should just sell your collection down here to Rob so I can come pick it up. Anyways, The Walking Dead, I'm sure you guys know, it's a lot different than the show. Very unique, all done in black and white. The storyline right now is really good. It's that Rick is no longer really in control.
So there, doing guest post here. My name is Paul, Scoop Riches on Twitter and Scoop Ed Propaganda on my blog. And I'm doing a quick guest post, but stuff I recommend. After a rocky start, they're getting better now with Superman. It's been kind of all over the place the last year and a bit, but you can tell Scott Lobdell is really trying to pull this thing together and make it an actual coherent storyline again. One of the ones I really recommend, though, is World's Finest, written by Paul Levitz. Hard to explain the backstory, best Wikipedia it, but it's Huntress and Power Girl stuck in the world they never made. And there's flashbacks, great storylines, great fight scenes, great art. George Perez and Kevin McGuire do a lot of the work on this one. Small Little Season 11. The digital first, and it goes to print. Right now the storyline is guest starring Impulse, or we used to call him the show Flash, Bart Allen. We've also Batman and Robin guest star, and it's been a really fun blast of a series. But my favorite every month to read, All-Star Westerns starring Jonah Hex. This is just fantastically great, gritty, violent character stuff in reference to DC Universe all over the place in the West. Because in this storyline, Jonah is in Gotham in 1890, hanging out with the Dr. Arkham Asylum. It's really cool stuff.
Oh, as you already know, the Pope is stepping down. Yesterday's newspaper front page. Something interesting also we should know, this Pope was a member of the Nazi youth group, Ratzinger, and I don't know if you can tie Nazism being holy or whatever. But previously, Pope John Paul II also worked for the Nazis as well. He used to distribute the gases that killed many people in Auschwitz and so forth. He ran out from Poland thinking the Polish people was going to kill him. Next thing you know, he becomes the most beloved Pope in all of Roman Catholicism, Pope John Paul II. So there's a lot of saying that the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church has been taken over by darker forces, per se. Hence the last two popes having Nazi ties and so forth. Also, interestingly, because Ratzinger has stepped down, there's a priest called St. Malachi. He gives prophecies in every pope that will become after his time period. And he named 112. Ratzinger is number 111. So the next pope, according to St. Malachi, is the last pope. And this is what he quoted. Check out St. Malachi and his prophecies and so forth. But his quote was, during the final persecution, the seat of the Holy Roman Church will be occupied by Peter the Roman. Peter Roman might be an Italian pope, the next one. Who will feed the sheep in tribulations, after which the seven hill city will be destroyed and the terrible judge will judge the people at the end. Now the end, some people interpret as maybe the end of the world or maybe just the end of Roman Catholicism. Interestingly enough, if you look at a lot of the conspiracies going around, it seems that they want to bring about the Antichrist, right? So the world leaders who are bringing about World War III, they say. In fact, Pope John Paul II made a deal with Israel that he will have domain over King Solomon's tomb, which now is actually an Islamic mosque. Now you remove that mosque, you're going to start a holy war. And eventually, the Roman Catholic Church wants to take back that mosque to build the Temple of Solomon, the third Temple of Solomon, which they're gearing up to do. Starts in 2012, finishes in 2014. The Israeli government has given the Vatican rights to do what they want in that particular site. So if you want to trigger World War III, that's probably one possible way.
Now don't get too upset because this week is done. Thank you for joining us here for another week of the revolution here at the Zita Nation. Come back next week for a brand new episode right here on YouTube. Go back and check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. One word, Emperor Zita, right here on YouTube. Pick up your Drop Dead Pinups, Electric Night CD, the soundtrack to the revolution. Check them out on iTunes and follow them on Twitter at Drop Dead Pinups. Don't forget to follow me and my WrestleMania countdown right here on Twitter at Emperor Zita. Don't forget to head down to Excalibur Comics for all of your comic book related needs. Follow our guest host, my friend Paul, on Twitter at Scoop Riches, and check out his blog at www.scoopsmetalpropaganda.wordpress.com. And it's time to check your ass into the Hall